Students, today we will read gymnosperms. Now these gymnosperms are a very special kind of plants. Now on this earth very few species are left. So these gymnosperms, gymnos means naked and sperma means seeds. So these type of plants are called naked seeded plants. A seed is formed but that are not covered by any fruit like structure. So here ovules are not enclosed any ovary wall and remain exposed both before and after fertilization. So these are small groups of seed plants which are represented by 900 living species. That till now 900 living species are there. And these are maximum gymnosperms are fossilized. These plants are mostly found in colder parts of the northern hemisphere. Okay, number of gymnosperms are like ornamental plants we grow, and these are nothing but some species I'm writing cycas, then pinus, that is we say pine plant, okay, and then jingo, or you can say dingo, then thuza is jhau gacho, that is Thuza sinensis, that is very common, it is grown as ornamental plant. Another one is neetum. So these are the different species of gymnosperms. Now if you come to its morphology, these are medium sized trees or all tall trees or shrubs, and the giant redwood tree Sequoia is one of the tallest this gymnosperm species, that is 100-meter tall. The smallest gymnosperm is also there, Jamia. So that is the smallest gymnosperm is Jamia, and the largest one is Sequoia. So that is a redwood tree, Sequoia. Now species of neetum are normally woody climbers. Okay, so Jamia is a 25 centimeter only height, and pinus plant, that is red pine, and Sequoia is the redwood tree. So plant body is a sporophyte and well differentiated root, stem, leaves. So this gymnospermous plant is a sporophyte. The plant that we see is a sporophyte, because this also represents the alternation of generation. The plant body that we see is a sporophyte, and this sporophyte has root, stem, leaf. All things are present because this is well differentiated, and very large tall trees are there, root, stem and leaves are there. So well differentiated plant body. This has a special thing along with its root. It also has coralloid root, and these also have the association. These are the symbiotic association that pinus plant roots have this mycorrhiza, and coralloid root are the algae attaching symbiotic association with algae. These coralloid roots are associated with nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria, Anabaena and nostrum. So gymnosperm somehow fulfill its nitrogen requirement through this. And mycorrhiza are the fungus that is associated to the roots of pinus plant. So this mycorrhiza and coralloid root are the symbiotic associations, special characteristics of this plant body. Now these sporophyte, that is the plant, is having vascular tissue, that is xylem and phloem. So these vascular tissues are present, conducting elements. Vessels occur in a major here conducting element is trachea. So there are vessels are found in angiosperm, but here trachea is the major conducting element. Now come to the flower structure. What kind of flower it has, the sporophyte? These are the cone bearing. These are the cones. You can see male cone and female cone. So male plant and female plants are separate. So one is male cone. Male cones are having two kinds of spores produced within the sporangia that are born on sporophyll. So sporophylls are the leaves, and there are microsporophyll and megasporophyll. Now microsporophyll, that is a bearing microsporangia, produce the male, that is male cone is called male strobili also. This cone is also known as strobilus. Okay, so the male is having this microsporophyll. Microspore, while female is having similarly megasporophyll. show you this microsporophyll or male cone during online class, the few structures that I have. And female megasporophylls are, I don't have the structure, but I can show you this type of structures are there. And here, this at the this side, this ovule is present. This type of ovules are present at this megasporophyll structure. So this is the exposed ovule. Ovule is not surrounded by any ovary-like structure. And this microsporophyll, this type of structures are there. It's a ring-like arrangement. I will show in the online class. These type of structures are there. And here they bear the spores, microsporangia. Now, what happens? This male plant, microsporangia, male stabile, and these are the monoecious kind of plant. Now, pollen grains, the microspores develop in the male gametophytic generation, which is highly reduced and known as pollen grains. So, these here the pollen grains are produced, and these pollen grains somehow pollinated through the air and dropped on this ovule. Now, ovule is what? Ovule contain megaspore mother cell, and which is protected by envelopes and ovule-like structure. And these megaspore mother cell undergo meiotic division, forming 4 megaspores. And then, so these are megaspores and ovule has archegonia, and inside the archegonia these things are there. Now fertilization happens as current is required for the transport of male gametes. So male gametes are carried to this archegonia. Archegonia is present inside the ovule, and that carry the egg, and that is through air. Now in here the seeds are formed, and then zygote. So when the gametes are formed, that is pollen grain, and here the egg, that is archegonia, that is called your gametophytic structure. So the plant body that we see outside is sporophyte, but when they produce the pollen grain and here the egg is produced, that is gametophytic structure is developed. So gametophyte cannot be seen from outside. Okay, so now fertilization happens, and this fertilization, the seed will be produced from this ovule, and that is laden with endosperm, and these are exposed ovule, and then from there the seed disperse and new plants will produce. Now economic importance of gymnosperms, like pinus seeds are called chilgoja, which are used as food after roasting, and similarly gymnosperms also produce the soft wood for construction of plywood and paper industries. Then sawdust, resin is a semi-fluid prepared by these coniferous trees, turpentine resin. Then antibiotic is prepared from ephedra plant. So there are maximum gymnosperms like sagudana, that is also a source of gymnospermous food. So this is the economic importance of gymnosperms. Now next come to the angiosperm, only the life cycle that we will see. The whole portion is deleted, and detail of angiosperm we will discuss in class 12. So let's discuss only the life cycle of gymnosperms. So haplontic, diplontic and haplobiontic, these are deleted. So we were discussing now only angiosperm life cycle. So if it is a plant, now plant, here the plant is this is a plant, angiosperm plant, maybe any mustard plant or whatever it may be. It has the flower, and this flower has pollen grain. Now pollen grain are present in the, here the structure, anther. Yes, pollen grains are present in the anther. For that it has got stamen and it has got pistil. Right? So pistil is there. Now pistil has what? Is the egg. No? Ovary is there, and inside the ovary ovule is there, and inside the ovule egg is there. So this. Now this pollen grain and this egg is fused, and then pollination happens. So after pollination there is fertilization. So fertilization, and then they produce seed, and this seed is again dropped on the soil and undergo germination and then produce this plant. So this is how the angiosperm, the alternation of generations happens. Okay. Now where is the sporophyte? This plant itself, it's a sporophyte. Here the plant is a sporophyte because they have this megaspore mother cell or egg inside this megaspore mother cell. When they have, that is the spore from where this egg or embryo sac is developed, and they have here also inside the anther there is macrospore mother cells. So that is the spores, and these spores are there inside this flower in the first phase. So it's a sporophyte, and then so it's a haploid one, and then from the spores this haploid gametes they fuse to produce diploid plant. So here the plant is a diploid one, but producing this is haploid, and this haploid get fused up, so again diploid is produced here. So in this way alternation of generation is seen. Sporophytic plant and the gametophytes. Gametophytes are normally not visible, which are inside the anther and the pistil, that is ovary. So this is the alternation of generation of angiosperms. So ask your doubts in the online class tomorrow. Thank you.